5 key numbers to watch out for in Budget 2022-23. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman is all set to lay out the country's economic growth plan in the upcoming budget on February 1st. Here are the 5 key numbers to be watched out for in the upcoming budget. Firstly, number 1, growth of economy. The pandemic has had a devastating human and economic cost. Gross domestic product, GDP, dropped 7.7% in the financial year 2021. However, the latest estimate shows the growth will bounce back by 9.2% in the ongoing financial year compared to the last year. But rating agencies see the growth with some riders. GDP will grow 7.6% year-on-year in financial year 2023. After a gap of 2 years, the Indian economy will show a meaningful expansion, as the real GDP in financial year 23 will be 9.1% higher than the financial year 2020, pre-COVID level, GDP level. However, the size of the Indian economy in financial year 23 will be 10.2% lower than the financial year 23 GDP trend value, credit rating agency India Ratings and Research recently said in its webinar on the economic outlook. Next, number 2, tax collection. More than 2/3 of the government's receipts come from taxes. The share of personal income tax has surpassed the other direct tax, corporate tax, after about 20 years. After the pandemic, corporate tax plunged nearly 20% in financial year 2021 compared to FY 2020. At the same time, personal taxes dropped only around 7%. The tax-GDP ratio is still very low compared to other countries. For instance, the tax-GDP ratio in OECD countries has been above 30% for the last 20 years. In contrast, this ratio in India was hovering around 10% even before COVID. This low tax-GDP ratio has provided the government space to peg the overall tax revenue this time to more than the financial year 2022 budget level of Rs 22.17 lakh crore. Next, number 3, fiscal deficit. The fiscal deficit shows that the government is spending beyond its means. The gap is usually financed by debt, leading to another burden in terms of interest. Data shows fiscal deficit in financial year 21 was Rs 18.5 lakh crore as opposed to Rs 12 lakh crore in the previous budget. However, most of this rising deficit is after the accommodation of off-budget borrowings, which are now reported as the government's borrowings. Next, number 4, spending. Additional spending as a fiscal stimulus. Especially in financial year 21, revised estimate has pushed the total expenditure from Rs 26.86 lakh crore to Rs 34.5 lakh crore, almost 28% higher compared to 19 percentage points the previous year. Capital expenditure rose to 2.5% of GDP as per financial year 22 budget estimate, up from 2.2% in financial year 21, and 1.6% in financial year 20. Latest monthly data available with the Controller General of Accounts, CGA, show that overall expenditure has already reached 59.6% of the budget estimate as of November 2021, with revenue expenditure at 61.5% and capital expenditure at 58.5%. However, it is less than last year. Next, number 5, disinvestment. An ambitious target. The government thought it would collect Rs 1.75 lakh crore from disinvestment in financial year 22, b. In reality, the government was around 95% short of this target at the close of the third quarter of the ongoing financial year. Department of Investment and Public Asset Management data till December 2021 indicated that the government achieved only over Rs 9,000 crore through disinvestment in 7 central public sector companies. Moreover, the government could hardly achieve its target even before the onset of the pandemic. For instance, in the last 6 years, the target has been met only twice, and even then, the shares of one public company were sold to another PSU. These are the top 5 key numbers to watch out for in Budget 2022-23. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe to our channel for more updates.